Thưa các bạn, ông ấy tên Boss John. Năm 2022, chúng tôi gặp và phỏng vấn ông trong dịp kỷ niệm 40 năm ngày thành lập làng Mai tại Pháp 1982-2022. Ông John năm đó đã 78 tuổi, nhưng trong ông vẫn rất phong độ, tràn đầy năng lượng, vui tươi và trí tuệ, với những chia sẻ không chuẩn bị trước. Thật tuyệt vời! Ông là một người Hà Lan, là một giáo viên chuyên huấn luyện các bác sĩ trị liệu tâm lý nổi tiếng của Hà Lan và ở Pháp. Những chia sẻ của ông về thiền sư Thích Nhất Hạnh và pháp môn thực tập của làng Mai cực kỳ ấn tượng, dễ hiểu, thiết thực và hài hước. Với kinh nghiệm thực tập hơn 20 năm của ông, có một cái chi tiết làm chúng tôi rất là thích thú. Ông là người đi dạy cho bác sĩ để trị liệu tâm lý. Những người bệnh tâm lý có nhiều khổ đau, nhiều cái stress. Nhưng chính bản thân ông có những giai đoạn đã rơi vào trạng thái stress nặng, gọi là bị bệnh tâm lý nặng. Và cái người mà chữa trị cho ông, từ đó để ông có những cái kinh nghiệm để huấn luyện lại, chính là thiền sư Thích Nhất Hạnh.
I could be when someone attacked me in some way, or I had a feeling to be attacked, I could react immediately, strongly, and this could become a war, a fight. It has affected me in many ways. The way I make contact with other people. And this hardly ever happens anymore in my life. When someone says something hurting me, I just breathe and see the other person, feel what's happening, in what habit energy of mine it lands, and very often I can see, he or she is also a man and suffers, and like I do, and no problem at all.
Hi, John.
Hello.
Yep. The first thing is thank you for accept our suggestions, and I want to know. Let's introduce yourself first.
Well, like you said, my name is Jan, which is a real Dutch name. I'm living in Holland and have worked as a psychologist, psychotherapist, and had my own center training people to become therapists and so on. That's some time ago. And later on I became a Dharma teacher in the tradition of Plum village of Thai.
Yeah. So let's talk about the first time you met Thầy.
Wow, I can tell you. At that time, this is over 20 years ago. And at that time, I was working as a psychotherapist and was very tired after a whole year of dealing with suffering and pain of my clients and so on. And I was so tired, I even did not have the courage to plan a holiday. And I went to a friend, and a friend said, well, last year I have been somewhere in France, maybe you like that. And he put a circle on the map of France and said, it's somewhere there. And I said, okay, I go. I didn't subscribe for a retreat or what, I just went by car and arrived after a lot of trouble because this circle on the map was quite wide. So it was hard to find Plum village, but in the end I found it. And I was already practicing Buddhism for a long time, Tibetan Buddhism. And I came here and I heard Thai giving a talk. And unlike most people, I said, wow, this is nothing. This is naive. This is too simple. I was used to Tibetan teachings with many colors of light and difficult explanations and so on. But I was too tired to leave. So I stayed for 1 or 2 weeks. And luckily, after a week, I heard another talk by Thai about non-self and about interbeing. And I thought, wow, that's something. And then I went back and didn't come for 2 years. But a little seed had been planted. So I came back after 2 years, and then one could say my teacup was, at first was upside down. A teacher can pour as much tea as he wants, but it will not last in the cup. But after that 2 years, I had turned my cup and I received tea. I enjoyed the teachings of Thai. I wasn't in love with him or something, I just enjoyed his teachings. And from that moment on, I kept on listening to his teachings, reading his books, coming to Plum village, started also teaching, giving small explanations at my center, a bit more meditation. So slowly I combined therapy and meditation in my way. And this went on for many years. Yeah. Most things in my life have gone gradually, just bit by bit, not with big booms and explosions, and so slowly. And it's hard to say what's because of the practice, what's because of my wife, what's because of life anywhere. But I'm sure it has affected me a lot. I drank the teachings of Thai, and I can say it's in all my in my whole body. It's really everywhere. I slowly understood more of it, understood the depth of his simpleness. And even today, I learn new things from his teachings. So how it has affected me? As a child, I was very unquiet. I was ADHD. And this is still in me, but it's not working anymore. Practice has calmed me down at most moments, not always, but at most moments. It really calmed me down. And from being calm, I could really see. And it also affected my life, my professional life, because I started teaching in many ways. And from teaching you also learn. So I learned a lot of my students as well. So it has affected me slowly, without noticing completely.
Yeah. Can you give us an example, just only example
Of
the effective on you? Example.
yeah, I have to think about it. An example. This is a long story. It started when I was 5 years old. When I was 5 years old, I was in a small class for 4 children and 1 teacher. And one day this teacher said, everything has been created by God. I have been raised atheistically, so this was news. And I asked the teacher, have you been made by God? Yes, she said. And me? Yes. And this curtain? Yes, she said. And this wooden bench? Oh, sure, she said. And the lessons went on, and I was watching this wooden bench, created by God. That must be very special. So I looked into it, and it opened up. It became space. It became moving atoms, one could say, something like that. And after that, of course, it closed again, and it was wood again. But as a child, I thought, things are not exactly as they seem to be, what they seem to be. There's something beyond. And that remained in my mind. I never spoke about it to no one, but it stayed in my mind. And then, years later, I found Buddhism teaching the same kind of things. So I always stayed with Buddhism from 20 years of age. And it was just a matter of evolution. I already was teaching a lot. So when something new comes to your mind, like the teachings of Thai, and my feeling wanting to contribute, to help people, to diminish suffering, what already was in my life as a psychologist, as a psychotherapist, it automatically developed into being a Dharma teacher. And it was quite funny, by the way. Already 15 years ago or something like that, I decided to stop being a therapist. And I wanted to do nothing and see what would happen. 2 months later, I was asked by Plum Village to become a Dharma teacher. So but this is not just my practice that helped in changing my relationships. With my wife, it was also her wisdom and her practice. Yeah.
What does she do?
Writing. She's a writer, an author of books.
Okay.
Yeah. And painting. And she also has been here. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Also, no, not now. Also, my children have been here, and yeah. At the beginning, years and years ago, I just copied the way Thai was teaching, and I copied a lot of his knowledge and just repeated it more or less. Sometimes with my own examples, but later on, I became more free. And I found all kinds of ways. For instance, I like to teach outside, using the landscape, sitting in the landscape, sitting at the seaside, on the beach, on the cliffs, with a group of people, walking, enjoying the landscape, enjoying each other's company, and giving small teachings that fit to the situation. to the people and to the surroundings. And then we move to another place and we repeat it. Sometimes I ask people to remain at one spot for a whole day, and they encounter all kinds of things in themselves. They talk about it, and I guide them. So I give them little questions, or I ask them to practice something. Simple things. That's one of the things that is a bit different from the way the teachings are done here. But I also use, when it's rainy or we are inside, a lot of the same kind of, the same ways of having a program as here. It's not about knowledge. My knowledge is not so big. Thai has a much wider knowledge. And there are many Dharma teachers here who have a bigger knowledge than I have. But I think knowledge is not the most important thing. It's how can I inspire people? How can I feel inspired myself? How can I use the situation? How can I connect to the person in front of me, to the group in front of me? And that's not just knowledge. That is more the how and not the what and why. And that's the practice, being present, being really there at the moment and see what the situation needs. My groups usually are not like here 600 or, you know, they are usually up to 60, 20 to 60, and that's nearby. I know the people, and especially when it's a longer retreat, a week or longer. Yeah, so I have understood a lot of Thai's teachings and made them my own and expressed them in my way. Yeah.
Which country did you have to cheat?
Mainly in Holland, in Hungary, and also in northern France. Yeah. In France especially, I used the sea. Yeah.
You teach in the monastery or in just only in the landscape?
In northern France, I have a house that's near to the seashore, and it can house 20 to 30 people. So that's what I do in France. In Hungary, I don't organize it anymore. I started there when when the wall fell down, long and long ago. I started a little bit, and a big sangha grew out of it, and a strong sangha, and they organize everything. I just come to teach, and they rent places. They rent a Taoistic monastery in Hungary, a wonderful place, yeah, in wonderful landscape, so we can use that, yeah. And in Holland it depends. It depends. We rent places. I had my own center. We still use it, and so on. It's not so interesting, I think.
What is your name of your center?
It has my name. My back name is Boswijk, and the center is called Center Boswijk. And this name is because I didn't want to give it a name. And then there was a lady who was in the office and had to reply the telephone. And she didn't know how she had to reply, what to say. Hello? And so she said, Centrum Boswijk. So, and then I said, well, okay, that's the name. Yeah.
So did you teach this place?
Sorry?
Did you teach in this place?
Yes, yes.
The last time you teach here is...
It's maybe 6 or 8 years ago, because I haven't been here for many years.
He wants to know, did you have any something like a certificate, you know? Something
Yes,
here?
yes. When you become a Dharma teacher, you get a certificate. You get a certificate signed by Thai. Yeah, 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 yeah. But it's funny. I told you I wasn't here for maybe 6 years, and last week, first time I came here, I walked along the old path. I saw Thai walking, and I felt Thai walking, and I saw how the trees had grown, how the buildings had been were better, how the community was better organized. I saw all this, and I saw, wow, this has all been started by this little man, this very modest little man, not a shouter, just. This has all been started and goes on and grows, and this is only one place of the many places that he has reached. I tell you, I was so impressed. I know what it is to set up a center, and well, he made a worldwide, wonderful center, reached millions of people. Great. I had a lot of respect and cried.
Ta hạnh phúc liền giây phút này, lòng đã quên dứt hết âu lo, thong dong khi bước thanh thơi lúc